Next month, for the first time in the modern history of the Colorado River, a water shortage is going to be declared at Lake Mead. There's a 120-foot high white band encircling the entire lake that it demarcates where the water level has dropped in recent years. Climate change is here, and water and drought are probably the two most poignant and threatening symbols of that. What's happening at Lake Mead is a reminder that the water crisis is here and now.
Lake Mead, formed after the Hoover Dam corked the Colorado River in 1935, is part of a broader network of natural and artificial aqueducts and dams. It supplies water to 40 million people, and homes, farms, manufacturers, and businesses across several states, tribal lands, and parts of Mexico.
Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, Tucson, all of these cities would not have become as muscular and productive and robust as they now are without Colorado River water being harnessed at Hoover Dam and Lake Mead.
But the lake is shrinking faster and sooner than hydrologists and other experts predicted.
Locals would go up there, they still do, to what they call the beach at Lake Mead. But the beach, the water has receded so much at the lake that essentially when you're standing on what they now call the beach, it's really the former floor, the very white, rocky floor of Lake Mead itself. The water table has dropped so drastically that marinas around the lake have closed because the water level isn't high enough to launch boats. Over the last 20 years, the Lake Mead water table has been steadily dropping. And there are very key different elevation levels in the lake that determine when shortages are called. And we are about to approach Tier 1, which is the first formal shortage declaration. That will be next month.
When the reservoir drops to 1,075 feet, it is designated as Tier 1, which represents just 40% of its total capacity. Further drops lead to Tiers 2 and 3. And when each of those benchmarks are hit, alarming things happen.
Water gets parceled out in smaller amounts to different states that have access to the water. As the water drops even further, the hydroelectric power plants at the Hoover Dam can no longer spin. And if it drops even further, water can no longer escape the reservoir. And at that point, Lake Mead is declared a dead pool. And essentially, it becomes useless for the purposes that the dam and the reservoir were originally built for, which is to electrify the Southwest and provide water to the Southwest.
Due to political and legal quirks left over from water battles of the past, Tier 1's impact will fall most heavily on Arizona.
When we look at the water crisis, in Arizona, for example, farmers are going to take the first hit from a water shortage, but there are big semiconductor fabs being built in Arizona by two of the world's largest semiconductor manufacturers, TSCM and Intel. And semiconductor companies use millions of gallons of water a day to clean chips. If they don't have access to water, they cannot function. If people think farming is in the past and Silicon Valley and semiconductors and the digital world's in the future, and somehow water is less important in that future, the reality of that is completely opposite. We need water more than ever.